Hey everybody, I'm debt-free Joel and welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. This is where I just share once a week what's helped me become debt-free and ultimately financially stable. So feel free to like and subscribe the page and the channel. Feel free to forward this video on to anybody who you think may find it useful. So today I want to talk about the difference between income and wealth. This really helped me along my debt-free journey and kind of becoming financially stable is when I learned the difference between them. If you look just in general in our society, one of the things that we focus on a lot is how much somebody makes, right? You know, how much per hour somebody makes, how much per year somebody makes, right? The golden rule, especially in the black community, was that if you made over $100,000, you were basically wealthy, right? Absolutely not the case, but at the time, that's what it was. A doctor made over 100 grand, a lawyer made over 100 grand. And that number, even for me when I was younger, was something that stuck with me for a long period of time. But it's actually the wrong thing to focus on. You see, income is very important, but it's not the end all be all. What's really important is the accumulation of wealth, is the accumulation of assets. I don't care what personal finance book you read. They always come down to basically the three main things. Reduce your expenses, reduce your liabilities, and accumulate assets, right? And the reason why they do that is because if you look at the net income calculation, it's your assets minus your liabilities. And the true representation of wealth, in my opinion, is your net worth. Now, it's your liquid net worth, right? It can't just be a bunch of assets that you can't sell, right? What you really want to know is how liquid you are in terms of the accumulation of assets that you can accumulate, or the assets that actually generate income for you. So don't focus on the income. Focus on making sure you retain part of that income to accumulate assets over time. Make sure that you're reducing your expenses. Make sure that you're reducing your liabilities. That's really the whole point of this, right? It's not how much you make. A lot of us always rush to see if we can get a bigger raise, if we can get a higher bonus, right? We're always complaining that we don't make enough. I have yet to meet a person who thinks that they make enough at their job. Not one, right? So you're never going to make enough, but you can save enough. You can buy enough assets that is going to generate enough income that's going to be able to pay your expenses every month. That's the whole point. Don't just focus on income. Income is only part of the equation. What you really want to focus on is the accumulation of wealth. You see, your income is your most powerful wealth producing tool that you have, if you use it right. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a goal to make over $100,000. What I challenge you to do is look at life differently. How about instead of making over $100,000, how about you save or invest $100,000? Same amount, two different sides of the equation, right? Because if you're actually investing $100,000, if you're saving $100,000, is accumulating interest that's above inflation, then your income is important, but the assets that you're accumulating are more important. Now, for some of you, you want the $100,000 and you want the assets. Well, by all means, go get them. But just remember what behavior teaches us in behavioral finance. What they tell us is that most of the time that you make more money, you just end up spending more money. So it's not the amount every month that's going to change what you do most of the time. What's really going to change is when you make the conscious decision to reduce your expenses, to reduce your liabilities, and to accumulate assets. So that's what I've been doing over the last couple of years, is not only just focusing on how much I make, but focusing on how much assets I'm able to accumulate, right? So that one day, in the distant future, my assets are going to be enough to sustain me that I don't need an income, right? That's the key. And now for a lot of people, they may want to do it through real estate. They may want to do it through stocks, owning a business. I don't care which way you do it. But it always comes down to the same thing. Don't just focus on how much you make, no matter how sexy it sounds to say it at a cocktail party. What you make is only half of the problem. The other half of the problem is how much you're retaining. So that's just my tip for this week. Like I said before, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And as always, just remember that a part of all that you earn is yours to keep. I'll see you next time. Go Bills.